guess our story starts way before us, or before we met each other, I guess, anyways.
Our parents have been friends for over 20 years now.
My understanding is that Conrado didn't want his daughters to meet me and my brother, basically.
His parents had just opened up a restaurant, and his mom actually came to me and invited me to celebrate my birthday at the restaurant.
So she's standing there at the hostess booth, asked her if she wanted a job, you know, as a joke.
And I was like, no, I'm not looking for a job. And I just started laughing. I kind of just laughed and walked off, and that was it. I mean, that was all I really ever remember saying to him or talking to him about that day.
A few weeks later, my cousin George is in a band, Sismo, and he was playing at Escapade 2001.
During that time, a cousin was living with me. She wanted to go to this concert at a club that I never liked to go to, but she was pretty adamant about it. So we went, and when I walked in to the club, I mean, Joe is one of the first people that I saw.
I see her walk in, she's in this bright red dress, and I thought I recognized her.
And I looked over at him, and I could tell that he did recognize who I was, so I ended up walking over to him.
Then after that, we ended up dancing basically the whole night. Obviously, I got her number, because that's what I do.
He asked me for my phone number, and I gave it to him, and we said goodnight, and that was about it.
Called her maybe like a week later, and started talking from there.
I don't know, it was really natural talking to him. I was very comfortable. We ended up hanging out all the time.
We had been coming here to this town square to hang out and talk, get to know each other. I did, I guess, the real traditional Mexican thing, and I brought her here, and we were sitting on this bench talking a lot, and asked her to be my girlfriend. And that's where we had our first kiss, and so this bench is special to us. If it ever disappears, you might want to come looking for us. We might end up stealing it.
Once I wanted to be the greatest. No wind or waterfall could stop me. And then came the rush of the flood. Stars at night turn deep to dust, melt me down. It's a big black armor. Leave no trace of gray.
I always wanted the qualities that I saw in my father, you know, for the man that I married to have those same qualities. And I don't know, when I met Joe, he reminded me so much of my dad. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it made me feel safe, and it made me feel comfortable, and it made me actually think about having a future with someone, and that was not something that I ever really thought about. And with Joe, everything seemed possible. Everything seemed like it would be okay.
For the later parade. Once I wanted to be.
Basically told me that we were gonna go to a trip to Fiesta, Texas, and he told me that I had to be ready like at 5 in the morning. And I was like, okay, I'll be ready at 5 in the morning. And it ended up being like 6 in the morning. He still hadn't like called or texted me, and he's usually never late, so I was kind of like, what's going on? And he comes and he picks me up, and he tells me that we have to pick up another friend of his. So we ended up driving over here, and then when we parked, I saw that he actually turned the car off, and I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, let's go get down, let's go see his, his apartment. So finally I did, I got off, and we ended up walking right in front of the bench where he asked me to be his girlfriend, and I was like, oh my God, this is the bench, and so I hugged him.
And I reached in my back pocket, and I got down on my knee, and I had this whole thing that I was gonna tell her. As I'm starting to say it, I choked up, so I couldn't say it all, and then I was just, will you marry me?
I was just like, yes, 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 and He put the ring on my finger, and I just looked over to him, and I was like, please tell your friend to stop recording us.